I've got a lot of World Otter Days looking at me. That's a nice surprise looking back at a
I
bunch of
feel like
otters.
that's what they should be at all times because it makes it funner to look at.
Well, I mean, I get on and the entire screen across the scrolling screen is just a ton of otters. So, otter note takers, welcome to the call. It's really funny. Hey, welcome to today is Wednesday. I know yesterday they had creative financing at the office. Hopefully, some of y'all were able to join in and listen to that. Today, we're doing shift, and I may continue to do shift tomorrow because it's all things short sales, which I think is fascinating. And I want us to make sure that we're diving deep into it. I got to say, I love MREA book, but for whatever reason, this shift book is really hitting home for me. Um, and hopefully for y'all as well. COTD, Linda, we got anything today?
Lots going on today. Ignite is happening today. Prayer hour. Don't forget prayer hour. It's on the calendar for 10:30. So if you can't make it in person, then it's on Zoom as well. And then it's just 30 minutes. I don't know why we're calling it hour prayer, half hour. And then Wesley and the tech guys are doing design to command, basically like Canva to command and how to use that stuff. So let me think. Let me make sure there's nothing else.
Yeah, I would say while you're thinking that through Canva, y'all, if I can create a flyer with Canva AI, you all have hope. Okay. Like I'm horrible at aesthetics and I'm horrible at creating design things. Like it's just not my thing. And I used Canva AI to do the regional newsletter. And I'm like, I was so proud of myself. So just know if you don't know how to do it, just get into Canva AI and it will literally tell it what you need and what you want and it will create it for you. I just wanted to give that plug as well. And then tomorrow is happy hour. Come join us for happy hour on Thursday from 4 to 6. And then Friday is all things fun with family. Starting at what time? 1 o'clock. Is that right? 1 to 4. Is that right?
It's from 12 to 4.
Oh, 12 to 4. 12 to 4 on Friday. So I know Kirsten Green and Smith have worked their tails off on it. So thank y'all for that. So we'll see y'all there as well. All right. So listen up, otters, all the otters on the call. We're talking about shift and we are going through shift tactic. We hit on this last week. Number 11, short sales, foreclosures, and REOs. I showed this. Let me get back in here. I've showed y'all this chart. Let me get here. I showed y'all this chart last week, and it's talking about the cycle, which, as y'all know, less buyers, more sellers, prices fall. Sellers can start to get upside down and start to go into default. But I thought this was really interesting because I've never thought about it this way, and it just seems very simple to me. The first step when you start seeing this market shift and this market cycle, you're going to see individuals who start to default on payments, right? And so the individual homeowner starts to default on payment, right? And then what happens is then the institutions, right? Then there's institutions that now are having to foreclose, which creates REO, right? So we've foreclosures increase. Now we've got REOs that hit the market, right? So real estate owned. And then we have the third piece of this, more investors are coming into the marketplace. And why are more investors coming into the marketplace? Obviously, because there's better deals out there. So I want y'all to start thinking in terms of bulk. He actually says, Gary says in here, he says, while working with the buyers requires special knowledge and skills, they tend to purchase multiple properties both at one time and over time, making them prospective volume customers. He calls them prospective volume customers. And I think of it in terms of bulk. So if we're going to be wealth advisors, yes, I can go one to one, right? But I could also go into bulk, right? So how can I assist an REO department and sell massive amounts of properties, right? Or how can I work with an investor that's going to buy multiple properties? How can I help manage portfolios, not just going one to one, right? And so there's a lot of people that are going to need assistance when the market shifts. And I know we talked about this, foreclosures are on the rise, but I want to chunk this down in stages because that's what they do in the book. The first stage they talk about is default. And so we're going to hit on default today. And I'm gonna read this quote. It says, having a professional short sale negotiator to work with lenders and build relationships has made a huge difference in our short sales success. So it talks a lot about not just having relationships. I know we talked about this last week with potential sellers, but you also want to make sure that you have relationships with lenders. Okay. So step one is default. Step two is going to be foreclosures. And then obviously step three is going to be REO. So trying to keep that very basic for everybody. And so I'm going to hit on default. It says, the customer will likely need a professional real estate agent to help them sell the home quickly, negotiate a short sale on their behalf, or get the lender to renegotiate the terms of a loan. It says negotiating a short sale while the lender agrees to accept less is, wait a minute, negotiating a short sale where the lender agrees to accept less than if owned on the property is one of the greatest services you can provide. I'm going to say that again. One of the greatest services that you can provide for a struggling seller is to renegotiate and help them renegotiate with the lender. So if you see that they're starting to become underwater or they're going into default, if you can help them renegotiate, you may or may not get the transaction, doesn't matter. You're providing a value and a service to them. And they say in here, I love this, it says a personal mission for some agents is to save as many people as possible from foreclosure. Like that could be an entire niche. Like you are the agent that saves people from foreclosure. And you do that with the servant's heart, I guarantee you will get a massive amount of business from that. Talks about defaults. So I just want to make sure everybody is aware. There are public websites that you can go to that will show you who is in default, right? And so you want to make sure if this is going to be a niche of yours, and it may need to be with the market going where it's going, you want to make sure that you're searching those sites. So you could just do Shelby County defaults and pull that up online. I know that there are other websites that you can pay for that will show you the if they're defaults, there are defaults, if there's equity, if there's other properties, all of those things. PropStream is one, Upside is another one that Scott built. But just so y'all know, this information is posted online and you can access it. And then this is interesting as well. It says a lot of for sale by owners, oftentimes because they are trying to avoid paying commission because money is tight. You may want to start asking them, like as you're starting to build relationships with them, are you current on your mortgage payment? How much do you owe on the property? And that way you can pull a net sheet and see if they are starting to fall and or become underwater. So just some things that I think that's a good question. Are you current on your mortgage payment? Another thing he says to ask, which I think is brilliant. Do you have any other properties? You've got to get to the relationship with the customer so that you can find out, do you have any other properties? Because if they are in default on one property and they own multiple properties, you're probably not going to be able to negotiate a short sale. So I liked that, those two questions. It says owners in default can quickly find themselves confronted with all these people reaching out, offering to help them. And let's keep in mind, some of them are not really trying to help them. So how can you be the point person that can truly serve them, help them keep the house, help them renegotiate a short sale if they have to do that? And that would be a great niche, I would say right now for any of you. And it's where the market shift and the market cycle is going. It also says, I thought this was interesting. It says in April of 2007, the Joint Economic Committee of Congress asserted that the average foreclosure cost for a lender is approximately $50,000. Says multiply that by thousands of foreclosures and you can begin to understand the lender's incentive to negotiate. So I thought that was interesting as well. And then one last thing, I think this is really important. If you are negotiating a short sale, so if you see a seller is in default, they have agreed to allow you to assist them, right? And they're forthcoming with their situation, and you want to move forward and help them. You've got to make sure that you have, whenever you're submitting to their lender, you've got to make sure you have, I need y'all to write this down. It's called a letter of authorization. It on page 229, it gives you exactly what needs to be in a letter of authorization. It says a short sale letter authorizing you are going to negotiate on the homeowner's behalf. You have a loan reference number, you have the date, you have the property address, you have the owner's full name and signature, you have their contact information, and you have your name and contact information. And this is what it says, and I think this is a key piece in it. It says if you're going to negotiate with the lender with a short sale, it says you need to prioritize this letter of authorization so that the lender will prioritize you. They want to make sure that you are a professional, you are a fiduciary, and you know what you're doing. And so they talk about that at length. So all that to say is I thought this was fascinating. I don't think a lot of us on this call have been trained on short sales. And this is literally giving you the book on how to assist a seller with a short sale and how can you better negotiate with a lender. What are you hearing me say? Because I just threw a lot at you. And we're not done with other letters. So just so you know, we're going to talk a little bit about that tomorrow. What are you hearing me say?
Be a resource. Oh, I'm sorry. Be a it's more than for me what I took out of it, it's more than just, selling houses. It's another lane where there's somebody struggling on the other end. So just being a resource to somebody, I think that's the major thing.
Yeah, I mean, and I love the personal mission of an agent could be save as many people as possible from foreclosure. Because you save, if you have a count on your wallet to save as many people from foreclosure and you start to market that, everybody's going to want to work with you. Because who's it really about? Is it about the customer or you? About the customer, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Who else? Somebody else was unmuting to say something.
I was unmuted to say, but you said it already. I was gonna say, our greatest value is to save as many people as possible from foreclosure, and also to pay attention to what's going on because it started with them going into default. So that'll let our antennas go up to, maybe try to jump in and save them, and also try to get in contact with some investors because we're gonna need them because. There's a lot of that's going to go on with short sales and how the economy is going. So it's best to lock in with one just so we'll have, like a foot in the door to say. And you also said it's a public website if we don't know if they're new like me and I don't know, like you gave us the website to where we can get started at to start somewhere.
Yeah, I mean, y'all can go and get a default, right? Then you can see what you could do to help them to catch back up, right? And I mean, you can ask for a referral and all the things during that process, but the goal is to get them back into where they're not in default, right? And they don't have to do a short sale. And that says, hey, I'm all about you, not about me getting paid, and I want to be able to service you. And then you just may come upon, hey, all right, I've helped this many people. Now I can call an REO department and say, how can I serve this entire department from the institution side? And then this is huge because this is like a flywheel. And then all of a sudden, I've got all these investors that can purchase, and they're reputable investors, right? Like they're people that you've already vetted. So this is the goal. Like the more relationships you have with individuals, bulk customers, lenders, and investors, this is a huge opportunity for y'all to serve in this marketplace. So I love that. Thank you for sharing. Anybody else before we wrap up?
I was going to say, and what this reminded me of is the ICP conversation, the who is your ideal customer. And so this is a whole niche where you can start, if this is something you want to do and get your hands into, start marketing it now before it becomes a big problem, or before it's like public knowledge, because there are people already struggling with this, I'm sure. And if they already start to see you as the person who can help them, then when it comes time for them to actually reach out, you'll be the person that they're thinking of. So I think
I mean,
that
think
just
about that.
it all ties into.
Think about the funnel with that. I mean, if y'all really went online and said, my job is to save you from foreclosure, and I pride myself in that, not selling your home, but saving you from foreclosure, contact me at XYZ. That is a totally different message. And then y'all are creating a funnel of people calling y'all, right? So you could, yes, do an entire marketing campaign on that. And you also could do an entire marketing campaign to some of the larger institutions as well. So, lot of opportunity here, y'all. And we're going to go through the structure of it. If you're going to go down this path, number one, you need to know where to find defaults. Number two, make sure you write down a letter of authorization, because if you're going to go negotiate with the bank, you need to have a packet of professional information so that you can go renegotiate with the lender as well. So we're going to talk about some other letters to include, but the first one is that letter of authorization. If you're taking notes, I know our auditors on here are, page 229 is where it starts for that. So start thinking in terms of bulk. Go service a lot of people. Look at in terms of portfolios, right? And y'all can help a wide range of people very quickly. So appreciate y'all. Let me know if you need anything. Make it a good one. Make it count. Bye, everybody.